G'day guys, welcome to my RXY's feature video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about NRL Round 18 recap preview for 2020 guys. So let's get started. So starting off with this first match of that game, we see the West Tigers going up against Rabbitohs. Now, this game was pretty average, pretty alright. The West Tigers were really on form in the first half, but they were playing really sloppy, though, which I thought to myself that the Rabbitohs were playing a really good game of football in the first half, which that means that Alex Twell, Luke Brooks, and Dane Gagai, all three of them got sin bin, but Alex Twell basically held one of the players on for long, and that's how he got the sin bin anyway. So it was just basically a game changer. It was down to 11 men anyway, both sides, so it was definitely a contending game of football, that was. Definitely 26 points to 24 on that scoreline, and it was really tough decision to make for that one, and I definitely took the Rabbitohs though too. But let's have a look at the West Tigers tries anyways. What we have here is Luke Garner, Tommy Talau, Luke Brooks, and Asu Kapawa. And the Rabbitohs though, let's have a look at their tries, and what we have here is Dane Gagai, Corey Allen, and Campbell Graham that scored 2 tries already. In my play of the game, I know that I hated this one, but I'm just going to change it for now. I'm going to say he did an alright game in this match, and I'm going to have to say, going to number 1, Corey Allen. I just think that this guy had a really great game, and he was definitely on form, and I think he was absolutely top-notch in playing his style of football, and I just think he was suitable in that match, and he played a really good style game against the West Tigers. And really, for myself, I just think he played a really good game of football. But yeah, 26 points to 24 scoreline anyway, and the Rabbitohs won by 2 points. The next game of that match, we see the Bulldogs going up against Manly Seagulls. Now, this game was pretty alright by the Manly Seagulls though. They were playing really great in the first half, and they were scoring a lot of tries in that game, and I just have to say, like, Seagulls were playing a really good game of football, and they usually were, and I have to say, 32 points to 20 in that scoreline, and I was hoping that the Manly Seagulls were winning this game, because going up against Bulldogs, I didn't think they were going to win at all. But the Manly Seagulls played a really good game of football, and they were just absolutely on top of their form in this game. But the Bulldogs were playing really shocking in that game, but some of them were playing alright, but it just wasn't good enough by the Bulldogs. But 3 tries led to a, I think, penalty goal, I believe, made it 20 on that scoreline. But let's have a look at their tries anyway for the Bulldogs. What we have here is Matt Dory, Lachlan Lewis, and Jaden Ockenbaugh. Let's have a look at the Manly Seagulls tries anyway. So what we have here is Tanella Paseka, Curtis Sirenen, Brad Parker, Jack Jasewski, I think it's Mark or Matt Harper, and Martin Tapau in that one. In my play of the game, obviously for number 7 from the Manly Seagulls, Daly Cherry Evans. I think he had a wonderful game out there, really supportive. Every single time he gets the ball, he always passes it at the right time, and then for some reason, Manly Seagulls were getting try after try after try by Daly Cherry Evans, and plus other players too. And I think the Manly Seagulls played a really good style of football, and I just think they were on top of their form anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Panthers going up against the Eels. Now, this game was pretty shocking by the Parramatta Eels, and they were playing absolutely shocking, terrible, and they were not contending with the ball at all. They were just leading to the Panthers that they want to get another try, and they were getting try after try after try, and it was just terrible by the Eels, and they were playing absolutely furious in that game, and 20 points to 2 for that scoreline. That was really terrible and shocking by this team, and they usually don't play really shocking in the match. But going up against Panthers, first team on the ladder, up against the fourth team or the third team on the ladder, fourth team on the ladder actually, was really shocking by this match, and it was definitely embarrassing to see the Eels really weren't getting a try at all. And this game wasn't really contending with so many points by the Eels because they weren't trying to get any type of points anyway. And the Eels, I'm going to have to say, you need to aim up your game if you're going to play up against Broncos. But I know for a fact you guys will definitely beat the Broncos anyway, because last time they played against Broncos it was 58 points to 0. But we're not talking about that anyway. We're talking about the Panthers. So let's have a look at the Panthers tries anyway. So what we have here is Josh Mansour, Liam Martin, and Jerome Luai. And my player of the game in that match went to number 7 from the Panthers, Nathan Cleary. I think he had a wonderful game out there, really stood out in that team, and I just think he led to that match that really stand out in that game, and I just think he played a wonderful game out there, and just really given the opportunity for the Panthers to score was really wonderful for them, but for the Eels, really shocking, and they need to aim up in that game for the next match, and they need to work hard if they want to win up against Broncos anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Dragons going up against Raiders. Now, this game was so on top of their form by the Raiders, and they were playing so consistent in that game. The Raiders were playing absolutely wonderful, and I have to say they were playing a lot better than last week, and they were just absolutely on top of their form, and they were brilliant across the park. But for the Raiders, this game was pretty on top of their form, and how the way they were playing, absolutely contended, and a lot of tries in that game was absolutely wonderful. But this match for the Dragons, 37 points to 8 was so embarrassing by this club for the Dragons, and the scoreline in that match, 37 points to 8, was absolutely embarrassing by this club. In that match, I have to say, the Dragons were playing absolutely shocking in that game, but they were playing alright. But well done for Cody Ramsey for making 2 tries in his debut in that game. Well done from him. Congratulations for making a wonderful debut, and plus scoring 2 tries anyway. But in this game, though, the Raiders were on top of their form, and I'm just going to say they were playing on an alright game of football. But let's have a look at the Raiders tries anyway. So what we have here is Hudson Young, Jack Whiten that scored 2 tries, Jared Croker, John Bateman, and Semi Valimi. And my player of the game went to number 6 from the Raiders, Jack Whiten. I think he had a wonderful game out there. Really surprising that he scored 2 tries, and I just think he had a wonderful game of football, and he was my highlight of the player of the game, and I just think he had a wonderful game out there. But yeah, 37 points to 8, the scoreline, and well done for the Raiders for making a really good match and winning against the Dragons anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Titans going up against Broncos. Now, this game by the Broncos, they weren't playing solid as they usually do, but sometimes things doesn't go as planned, and the Broncos didn't really execute very well in that match, and that game was absolutely appalling by the Broncos, and they were certainly losing this game, and that match was just so crazy, and they weren't on top of their form. But the only one try out there that obviously scored was Darius Boyd, and Darius Boyd played a wonderful game out there. But it was definitely 18 points to 6 in that game for that scoreline. But the Titans, though, they were playing absolutely excellent in this game, and they were playing a lot better than they usually do. And I'm going to have to say, last couple of weeks they were playing terrible, and now they're playing so much better. And I just think by Justin Holbrook coaching this side, I reckon he's going to have a wonderful coaching career. And by the time he goes further into the NRL, I reckon he will definitely have a wonderful coaching career coaching the Titans anyway. So let's have a look at the Titans tries anyway. So what we have here is Mitch Rain, Sam Stone, and young Tonamapia. I reckon that play there that led to the young Tonamapia scoring that try was absolutely excellent and wonderful gameplay that was. But my player of the game went to, I think, either number 3 or number 4. But I think it was number 4 from the Titans. Young Tonamapia, I reckon he had a great game out there. I just think he had a wonderful game, and yeah, young Tonamapia played a really good game. And yeah, 18 points to 6 in that game, and well done for the Titans for making a really good win up against the Broncos. The next game of that match, we see the Roosters going up against the Knights. Now, this game was really on top of their form by the Roosters, and I'm going to have to say the Roosters were playing a really well done game. And I'm going to have to say by the Roosters, they were playing solid, strong, and average game of football. And the Roosters are a really solid team that just makes an effort every single time. And 42 points to 12 in that game was absolutely really solid scoreline. And I'm going to have to say, by the Knights, they weren't playing as solid as they usually do, because they were playing shocking across the park. And I know for a fact that this game wasn't their best game of all. But the Newcastle Knights, I'm just going to have to say, you guys need to aim up your game, because every single time you don't aim up your game, you're just going to lose, and it's not going to be great for your club. But without Kalen Ponga, without Kalen Ponga in that game, it was just without entertainment in that match. And yeah, so let's have a look at the Roosters tries anyway. So what we have here is Josh Morris, Daniel Tupou that scored 2 tries, Luke Keary that scored 2 tries, Joseph Manu, and James Tedesco. Let's have a look at the Knights tries anyway. So what we have here is Nari Tolala and Jamet Shibasaki. And my player of the game went to number 3 from the Roosters, Josh Mansell. I just think he had a wonderful game out there, and he plays as solid as he usually does. But them two brothers that play really solid out there. I reckon Josh Morris played a really solid game of football, and I just think he led to a really wonderful game anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Storm going up against the Cowboys. Now, this game was pretty solid by the Melbourne Storm, and another win that made a really good, solid game of football. And Melbourne Storm were playing really solid out there, and average game it was. And I'm gonna have to say, the Cowboys, though, I'm gonna have to say either 30 or 50% of their game was quite better as last week. And the Cowboys don't usually make an effort, but really in this game they were playing alright, and they were playing a lot better than last week. And well done from the Cowboys for making a really good effort. 36 points to 20 in that game was absolutely really audacious, but really average scoreline in that game. But let's have a look at the Storm tries anyway. So what we have here is Nelson Asafa Solomona, Tino Fasua Malaawi, Josh Adokar, Cameron Munster that scored 2 tries, and Jerome Hughes. Let's have a look at the Cowboys tries anyway. So what we have here is Hamiso Tipawai Fidel, Esau Masters, Cole Felt, and Valentine Holmes. And my player of the game went to number 5 from the Melbourne Storm, Josh Adokar. I think he had a wonderful game out there. Every single time he gets the ball, he's always dangerous. He runs fast like a Ferrari, and I think he has a wonderful game in his career. But in that game, though, for Josh Adokar, I reckon he played really well, and he only scored 1 try, but really well done from him. And I'm going to have to say, 36 points to 20 in that match was a really average scoreline and a really great game by the Melbourne Storm anyway. And last but certainly not least, we see the Sharks going up against Warriors. Now, 22 points to 14 in that scoreline was pretty average scoreline, and the Warriors were playing. They were playing alright, but they weren't playing as their best. But I'm gonna have to say, by this scoreline out there, it was really audacious, and the Warriors, they were just outclassed and by the Sharks, and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck didn't play as solid as he usually does. I know he's fast, I know he's skilled, but sometimes when he plays his game, he gets a bit sloppy and it gets a bit terrible for him, and he doesn't play an alright match of football. In that game, though, when the Sharks played a really good game, they were on top of their form, and that match in this game, the Sharks played a solid game, and the Sharks are a really good team. But I'm going to have to say, in this match though, the Sharks were playing a really good game of football. So let's have a look at the Warriors tries anyway. So what we have here is Jack Murchie and Adam Pompey. Let's have a look at the Sharks tries anyway. So what we have here is Sione Katoa, Ronaldo Mulatalo that scored 2 tries, and Toby Rudolph. And my player of the game went to number 5 from the Cronulla Sharks, Ronaldo Mulatalo. I reckon he had a really good game out there. Absolutely wonderful that he scored 2 tries out there, and he just had a really solid effort, and I reckon well done from him, and credit for him for making 2 tries a really audacious win. But 22 points to 14 was a really average scoreline and a really good game of football by the Cronulla Sharks that won against the Warriors anyway. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. I will be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care guys, stay safe, and have a good one. Plus, let's get up to 200 subscribers. We're sitting on 173 anyway, so thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.